Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mission Employable podcast. My name's Ben Oldak. Kathy Leggett is out today. She's my co-host, if you didn't know. And this is going to be probably close to the last episode of the year. We might get one in before the Christmas holidays, but if you don't hear from us, I hope you guys have an incredible holiday season, and we will pick back up with you in the new year. Otherwise, it is great to be here today because I've got two fantastic guests. We have Mike Tierney. He's a cybersecurity teacher over at Central Campus at the Des Moines Public Schools. And one of his students, Lincoln Kessel, he's a junior over there. And he just came out of a summer cybersecurity internship that we're going to talk quite a bit about. And we just thought it would be a great way to talk about cybersecurity jobs, getting students prepared for careers in cybersecurity, and kind of this concept that these high school students have incredible skills when it comes to this kind of thing that can be super useful to companies of all sizes. So, guys, welcome in. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for.
Awesome. So, Mike, why don't you kind of just tell me a little bit about this cybersecurity class that you teach, kind of the curriculum and what you guys do?
Okay, sure. When I was hired 3.5 years ago, my mission was to try to get students prepared for a job or a career directly out of high school, just in case college wasn't the right path for them. And so taking on that burden was somewhat daunting, but I was up for the challenge. And so what we were looking at was trying to get them some skills, some certifications that are needed for cybersecurity careers. We started out with security. We felt the security certification is a really standard certification that is in the tech and security area, and that would be our year one students. And then we added year two networking cert for the students, and then we felt like in order to get these students really the skills that they needed, we needed to add one more year, and so we added a third year, which does some cloud services and some mainly a lot of competitions.
Yeah, and when they come out of this program, what have they learned? What kind of things are they able to do at the workplace?
Well, I think a variety of skills. We have some cloud services. We have networking, security. We also do what I'd say they have access with SIM applications. We use Splunk. We do test out with some other products. We run our own network. We have our own internet in. We have our gateway. We have our firewall. We try to get practical application skills by going to Iowa State. Iowa State does an amazing job at cyber competitions. They do 2 or 3 a year. We also do some other competitions like CornCon. We do a couple national competitions, National Cyber League, which is an amazing competition. I highly recommend any students getting involved in that, as well as international. PICO CTF is an international competition that we compete in.
And these competitions, how are they set up? Is it, there's, for layman's terms, there's someone that's trying to hack and these guys are trying to defend against the hacker? Like, how does that work?
Well, there's two different kinds of competitions. The one Iowa State has is you have some servers, some virtual servers. You set up these servers, and then on competition day, you have some hackers trying to hack you. So the students are doing the blue side of security. They're trying to secure the network from hackers. The other one that a lot of students really enjoy are what I'd call Jeopardy-style CTF, where they're trying to solve categories like cryptography, enumeration, network analysis, log analysis, things like that, at a very high level. And just 2 weeks ago, we competed with college students, over 4,000 teams. Lincoln's team took 8th place.
Wow. Yeah, and that kind of just goes to show the level of some of these high school students that are able to compete against people that are doing this in college and how valuable that is. Lincoln, I want to talk to you, man. Like, is this something that you always thought that you would want to do? Is this something that, like, you discovered? How did you get involved in this class?
So not directly. For quite a while I've loved doing computers. I've always been the tech guy in my family and with my friends. I thought I wanted to do computer science for quite a while, but I never really found the right program for it. And I joined Tierney's class, it was information technology. The school was advertising as that. I didn't directly realize it was cybersecurity, so I signed up for it, not knowing what I was getting into. At first, I didn't really think I wanted to do cybersecurity. It wasn't exactly appealing to me, but after the material that we went through and learning just the basic level of stuff, I realized there's a lot of opportunities here, and Tierney's doing a great job at bringing stuff to us, getting whatever we need for materials and certifications.
You could really see yourself having a career in this.
Yeah, I can see myself having a career. And once I got into the internship at Casey's after my first year in the class, I just really started to enjoy it, and that went amazing, and I can see a future in it for sure.
Totally. So let's talk a little bit about this. You guys, not only are you doing these competitions and teaching these skills and getting the certifications, but then your class is working with businesses in Iowa to get them internships in some of these cybersecurity roles.
Correct. I think probably the most enjoyable aspect for me is reaching out, talking to companies, making a connection, getting some of them to come in, see the class, talk to the students, and trying to understand what skills they're looking for. And so we've changed our curriculum every year that I've been there, and mainly based on what employers are saying, hey, we need these skills, we need those skills. And so the last thing that I took from meeting with some of the companies is we really got to work on some soft skills. You know, we got some kids with some really high technical skill sets. Great, we can work with that. We really need them to understand, hey, you got to work with others, you got to work on a team. We need you to have these skills. And so I truly enjoy that connection with companies.
And you've worked with Casey's and then Principal, I think you mentioned before. And are there any other companies that you've...
Yes, Ruan has an apprenticeship program with us. Amazing program, several years. Really enjoy the company. Great company to work with. We're currently trying to work out an opportunity with John Deere, and we had a couple students get internships. We had one at Wellmark last year. Mid-American has picked up an internship for the last 3 years with one of our students. Really looking forward to kind of grow that organically and get some more companies.
Yeah, that's incredible. And that's one of the reasons why we had you on here, is to, you know, directly to appeal to any of the hiring managers or some of the companies that might listen to this podcast about potentially developing some sort of internship program with you guys and your students. Tell me about the Casey's internship. That was over this last summer, correct?
Yeah. I worked full-time there over the summer. I was on Casey's cybersecurity division, specifically on the security engineering team. It was really self-directed. They didn't hold my hand. I was able to get really technical with stuff and have a lot of hands-on experience. The main project we worked on was building out IDS system, intrusion detection system, for their internal network. They gave us a lot of freedom working on it. They let us figure stuff out and didn't hold our hand through building it.
How nice is that to feel like a company's kind of giving you that trust, right? To not only get you into this internship, but say, hey, we think that you're good enough to go do this without too much hand-holding.
It was a little bit scary at first,
yeah.
But once I got comfortable in the system and figured out how the company works, I really enjoyed it, and I felt like they had a lot more trust in me. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
I think it was a great experience.
What did you, I mean, obviously the technical side is really important, but kind of playing off of what Mike said about the soft skills, how did it kind of help you develop those kind of interpersonal skills working on like a professional team?
Yeah, so our class at Central, it does a great job at pushing the soft skills on us, the way we work in teams and the way we do projects there. So coming into the internship, I was somewhat prepared for it, but working in the larger company, it really showed me a different side of that. And sitting down for meetings and having to work with other teams and collaborate with like teams further across IT, it was difficult, but I think I learned a lot more soft skills from it.
Feel like you're more prepared for something like this in the future?
Yeah, definitely. It'll be less of a change to sit down for my first job, or the interview skills are great, and yeah.
Totally. What do you tell some of these companies about bringing these high schoolers into the IT program or the cybersecurity program that might be skeptical of the skill level of some of these students?
I think for me, the biggest selling point is trying to get them to come in and watch these students perform on a day-to-day basis. That's been our biggest selling point. When they walk in, they talk with them, they watch them work, as they're going through some projects or a competition, and just having that discussion. It's easy for me to go say what I believe the students know. It's much better for them to actually get that one-on-one with the students, bring them in and have that conversation.
Totally. And then as you, I mean, as someone, sorry, you, Lincoln. Hey, you, tell me about this. No, but Lincoln, what do you say to companies that might, consider hiring or someone from high school into this internship and what you guys are capable of?
Yeah, I agree with what Tierney said. To come in and see us work and see the competitions we do, the results of the competitions shows itself. The projects we do in class are amazing. Like in the classroom, you're never gonna be the smartest one in the room. You always have someone to learn from, and you're just constantly developing skills in there.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Where do you see yourself going in the future through this program? Is this something where you feel like you can jump right into a career out of high school, or do you see yourself taking college courses? I'm just curious, like, where your head at's in that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's a possibility to take a career right out of high school with the experience we're getting from this class, especially the internships.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, I think I will still be going to college. I haven't settled on where yet, but yeah, I think for me, the best option is to go to college still and find a career out of there.
Totally. And I mean, obviously at IWD, we do a lot of work with apprenticeships and creating pathways outside of the college route. But obviously college is still valuable to certain people. But the way that this is set up, it feels like it's something that if college isn't for you, you have a real clear path right out of high school.
Correct. We have that conversation at the beginning of the year with all the students that we want to make sure that we have as many doors open as possible. And so whether you want to go directly into the workforce, whether you want to go to college, whether you want to go in the military, we want to get you those skills needed so you can be successful. And I think that's important for me, having a son in the school district, and it's also important for the state of Iowa. I think it's important that we build these technical skills. I think that's an area that I really hope that as a state we really take focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. And with these internships, how are you guys collaborating with the companies based on kind of some of the results of the internships in years past? Like, do they come to you and say, hey, this really worked, this didn't? Like, is it something where a company can feel like they can kind of make changes to an internship, like working in collaboration with you guys?
Absolutely. So I know one of the year one with Mid-American, one of my students came back and the information feedback was, hey, we need some more practice with a sim, some more working with some logging systems, tracking, and how are you going to do the fix-it tickets, things like that. And so we took that to heart. We reached out and got some Splunk licenses, and so now we're getting that experience for the students so they're more prepared. Absolutely. I'd be comfortable with any one company saying, hey, this is what we use. This is important. Well, that's something we add to our arsenal. We would absolutely add that to our curriculum.
Yeah, I think that's important for companies to know, that they don't feel like they have to be like locked into some sort of very strict, rigid setup for their apprenticeship, that it can be fluid and that it can be something that can adapt and change over time. And I think when companies have that ability and they know that they're able to work with a school or something like that, they'll become more apt to want to sign on in the first place.
We're not trying to develop specialists. We're trying to have generalists right at the moment. We're trying to develop as many wide-ranging skills so that when they do get that opportunity with the company, then they can just go lock in and get their focus more narrow. But yeah, absolutely. I think that's the best route for us.
Yeah. Lincoln, what are some things that you really appreciated about the apprenticeship that maybe companies that are looking to develop an apprenticeship could potentially add to their program? I know you mentioned the freedom obviously was a big selling point for you, the being able to, hands off, work with your team, do your thing. But was there anything else that kind of sticks out to you?
Yeah, definitely the freedom was a big part of the benefits of it. I also really felt like I was a part of the team, sitting down for all the meetings with them, morning stand-ups, and going out to lunch with the team. I felt like I was included, and there was always I'm always able to ask for help on something. I never felt stupid or anything, and yeah, I feel like I made some good connections at Casey's.
That's awesome. Did you have like a particular mentor there, or someone that they kind of partnered you with, or was it kind of like a group effort?
It was sort of a group effort. It did end up being more of like one mentor that helped out most of the time with our main project, but then we'd also get to work with the other team members on different smaller tasks that we had day to day to help broaden our experience there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love the idea of having some person that's been working in that field forever to be able to partner up with an intern and help guide them, and I think that's super valuable. And like you said, that could be one person, it could be a group of people, it could be a group of people that kind of like naturally turns into one person. Doesn't have to be this like rigid mentor-mentee structure that they have to have, but like that's something that I think is super valuable.
Mm-hmm.
I believe all the relationships we've had so far, all the students have come back and said their impact has been positive, and they would definitely go back and do it again at the same place. So I would say we have some really good companies that are being helpful at the moment.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I guess we'll just kind of, as we're kind of wrapping this up, I wanted to just talk a little bit about how companies can potentially get involved, or if like, how can they reach out to you? Like, what's the best way for companies that might hear this or heard of this program to kind of get with you and maybe start developing something for themselves?
Well, I try to go to SecDSM every month, which is a monthly meeting of security professionals. I try to make connections through there. We're trying to get out in different avenues. We have a website, iateched.org. We also have a LinkedIn page where we promote all our students and the growth that they're making. They could reach out to the school district. Any way it's possible. I'm open to any connection.
Yeah. I didn't know if there was a particular email or like a LinkedIn page that you want to plug to direct them to.
iateched.org in terms of LinkedIn would probably be the easiest way to get a hold of me. That way, it's something we check all the time. We're always reaching out to other companies and other cyber professionals. That's how we grow our business.
Yeah. And do you, the page name for that?
iateched.org.
Okay, that's the page itself. Okay, great. And then Lincoln, I guess, what would you tell other students who are considering, applying for an internship that might be, a little on the fence or scared or intimidated or something like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think try and like compete in cybersecurity stuff. Go start building out a home lab. Maybe just start some passion projects. Like the little things add up, and see if you have a program like this close to you, and try and participate. Get involved, and work on building out some connections and soft skills. And yeah, and those connections can be so valuable. I mean, I feel like you must feel so much better about what the future is going to be like in this career field now that you know some people that are in the industry. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for swinging by the podcast. It was great talking to you. I'm super excited about this program. Super cool. What an awesome way to get people involved in this career field that's obviously going to continue to grow, and use that kind of like public-private partnership to really like grow something special here in the state. We appreciate the opportunity to be here. Yeah, thanks for having us out. Awesome. Thanks, guys.